The bad news about your pensions right now, your 401k, the stock market, your savings, the bond market, everything is crashing right now. The biggest tragedy is coming up is called healthcare. I mean, that is going to be a major, major disaster because Medicare and Social Security are toast. At 75 years old right now, I'm fighting for my health. You know, what I used to do 25 years ago is not, I struggle today, and it's health. So all of us, if you're fortunate, you will face it. Maybe not you, but somebody in your family will come to you and say, can you help us out?
This is an extremely important topic, not only for individuals, but families. And I'll tell you, over the many years of working with thousands of people, this issue of nursing care or long-term care has been one of, if not the biggest financial threat to families. Actually, not just financially, but relationships as well. I mean, you see a lot of sibling infighting when parents need this type of service. As parents have little to no savings, they end up living with one of their children because they can't afford a long-term care facility. And this always causes problems. And it can be a terrible strain on families. And now suddenly they have to take care of a grandparent or a parent on top of their own family. And it's a huge strain on time and money. And most people think long-term care is covered by the government. It's not. Well, I should say, not the kind of care you want. And we can get into the differences in a little bit. But yeah, this is a serious issue for everybody. The statistics just say it all. When you consider every day, 10,000 baby boomers are turning 65, and 7 out of 10 people will require long-term care in their lifetime. 7 out of 10, that's 70%. And of those who need it, on average, they need it for 2 years. 20% need it for 5 years. So it's a huge financial strain.
1974, I was just getting out of the Marine Corps. I was stationed in Hawaii at Kaneohe Bay Marine Corps Air Station. And I was looking for a job. And I got a job with the Xerox Corporation, not because I love Xerox machines, but I had to learn how to sell. And that was the main reason. So I interviewed with 2 companies, IBM and Xerox. At the same time, there was this new thing called ERISA, which I really wasn't paying much attention to, but because I was interviewing with people, I kept hearing things called ERISA. And ERISA stands for Employee Retirement Income Security Act. And every time they say the governments tell you they're going to secure your retirement, you know it's toast. I mean, I don't trust my government as far as I can throw it, and you can't throw it anywhere. So ERISA then led to this thing called the 401k. So over the next couple of years, like say 74 to like 78, I saw this exodus of school teachers leaving the profession, because my whole family of school teachers, and they were becoming financial planners. This is the poor leading the foolish, and I said, we're going to have a disaster coming. So you have these guys who know nothing about money, school teachers, or all these other people who are just quitting their jobs to have a profession called financial planner. So if you are an old guy like me, a baby boomer who's had a 401k or an IRA, what I call defined contribution, DC pension plans. And if you're a young person with a 401k, I'll take laps around the rosary beads for you tonight because you're an idiot.
Pensions globally, not just here in the U.S., are at risk at this time. And in this past week in the U.K., we saw the near collapse, according to some experts, of nearly 90% of all the pension funds in England. The near collapse of almost 90% of these pensions holding like over $1 trillion, $1.5 trillion in assets. And what happened was really a government policy-induced pension crisis. It was the government came out with a policy to reduce taxes. And as a result, to reduce taxes in a highly inflationary environment. And so, which resulted in adding tens of billions of pounds to the government debt, fueling greater inflation and causing bond prices to fall. So it was like sort of cascading effect. This government action had a disastrous impact on the pensions.
The English pension system, since they travel throughout the world, that would affect people, English pensioners throughout the world.
It was a unanticipated. Apparently, the new government didn't anticipate that lowering taxes in a highly inflationary time, increasing government spending would increase inflation, and it was a colossal blunder that rippled around the world. And many people are saying that exactly what happened in the UK probably will not happen in the United States, or what happened in UK will stay in UK. There are plenty of red flags or warnings about things that could happen in this country with our pension systems.
Primary reason people get in financial trouble. They want to be told what to do. And naturally, they'll tell them the same old garbage, the Susie Orman rhetoric: cut up your credit cards, live below your means, invest in a well-diversified portfolio of stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and ETFs. Bullshit. I would never do that. But I don't have to do that. You see, you might have to do that. There's a difference. So that's why my advice depends upon who you are. Most people can't do what I do. But I practiced for all these years, since I was a kid. Go to school, get a job. Dave Ramsey's a friend of mine, and he says live debt-free. And truthfully, most people should do that, but I would never do that. Debt is money. What do you see possibly happening?
The government agency backstopping 40 million Americans' pensions is itself bankrupt. So that's pretty bad. If your insurance company is bankrupt, then your insurance is worth nothing, right? Unless taxes are raised to replenish the agency's coffers, which they claim they don't use tax money. They just don't pay their bills, I guess. But so that's a big red flag. And increasingly, these pensions in the U.S. are moving into high-risk, high-cost, very secretive investments like private equity, hedge funds, venture funds. And so we know less about what's in these pensions today than we did 20 years ago.